Hello and welcome to gaming and welcome to a WWE 2K22 update video all about GM Mode, or MyGM as it's going to be called in this new game. Obviously we got a Ringside Report number 2, it dropped a few days ago now, and it was all about the MyGM part of WWE 2K22. Now many of you guys will know that I am a big fan of the GM mode that was in SmackDown vs Raw from 2006 through to 2008. We even did a series on it on my sister channel, Welcome to Wrestling. And it's finally back. They've decided to finally bring it back. I think, what's that, 14 years we've been waiting for GM mode. So during this video there was a lot of information dropped about the new MyGM mode, and a lot of it sounded really good to me. Starting off, you get your choice of GM. You aren't stuck with certain ones on certain shows, so you can pick Adam Pearce and be on SmackDown or Raw. You could pick Sonya Deville and be on NXT UK, any combination of what you want. And that's the other thing, NXT and NXT UK are both shows that can be run as well as SmackDown and Raw. You can even do a custom general manager, so will we see Gary Graps as a general manager here on Welcome to Gaming? Now each GM has their own power card applied to them. So for instance, if you go with Sonya Deville, she raises the morale of each superstar on her roster, so those power cards could come into effect and really help you out. Superstars have classes such as brawler types. You also have their popularity and their general stats, as well as their heel face status. Apparently we can create a custom draft pool with created superstars, so anything that you make in the game or download, I guess, you will be able to make a custom draft pool, which could lead to some really interesting GM modes being done by content creators. So as with the old general manager mode, you have a budget to spend, and you spend that on the match types. So obviously if you book a steel cage match, that's going to cost more than a normal match. Your budget goes on the superstars' wages, like it did in the old game, but also now we have the show logistics to think about. So things like the arena where the event is being held in will cost money. You can go from a school gym, which I'm assuming will be one of the cheaper options, right up to a massive arena. So week to week you can sort of change the size of the show. You also have to book your road crew, who's going to be there helping out on the shows. Things like the lighting and the special effects, the pyrotechnics can also be altered. Of course, costs more money for the show with each additional thing that you add. And there is an advertising part as well, so part of your budget can go on advertising the show in the local area and I guess on national television. You can also buy power cards. As I mentioned earlier, the GMs all have different power cards, but you can buy additional ones, and I'm assuming this is spent with the show's budget as well. So say you want to keep putting a superstar in really hard hitting and heavy matches, you can buy things like Spa Day power cards that will bring their fatigue down, and you can keep using them in really mad matches. As before, Triple H will give you special requests each week. Now I think this was in a GM mode previously, or it might have been a different game mode in one of the old WWE games, but I definitely remember Triple H giving special missions in one of the games that I've played before, and that is back for MyGM. Superstars will talk to you, so if you're using them too much and they fear a risk of injury with a high fatigue level, they will tell you that they want a rest, and if you keep pushing them, they will then shout at you. So during the actual matches themselves, of course, you can play all of the matches if you wish. You can select one of the superstars to play as. You can simulate the matches, which is actually traditionally the method that I use to get through the shows. But there's also now a new spectator mode, which really interests me, and whether or not we're going to do a series here on Welcome to Gaming, this could become a really useful feature. So basically the new spectator mode is you acting as you're in the production truck, as if you're the showrunner or director of the actual broadcast. You can do the camera cuts and things like that, and it could give you a really cool perspective to the matches that you've put on. I think this is a really good addition, and it keeps it interesting rather than just watching the match play out. Your GM can also be a part of the show, so you can actually insert them into storylines. You can get them to walk out with superstars, support them, maybe act as a manager, I guess. I wonder if you can even book your GM to be actually in matches, because we've seen in recent times the likes of Shane McMahon being a GM but being in matches, so that would be cool. So the post-show scores are still in GM mode. I'm going to have to get used to saying MyGM. I'm just used to calling it GM mode. Yes, the scores are in. After a show, you get a breakdown of how well the show was received. You get an overall score and then a match-by-match breakdown. But now you have the added bonus of social media posts, so you can actually see what the fans are saying about certain segments booked on the show. And this could probably help us decide whether or not to drop an angle or to bring somebody else into the spotlight. I think this is a really cool little addition as well. It'll be interesting to see how well it's implemented, but I like the sounds of it. And that's pretty much my breakdown of the MyGM video from the Ringside Report for WWE 2K22. The only other thing that I would like to mention is there was slight mention of online, but they didn't outright say that online is available. I was hoping that we were going to be able to play friends over an online connection, so me and my friends that live far away could maybe have a season together. And I don't see why that isn't just an option that's going to be available. They said something about like Steam Remote Play has allowed them to do this, but they need to implement an online portion just in the game for me. I've had some people tell me that online is available, but I've not really seen the definite evidence of this. Of course, the couch co-op mode is there as it was before, but I just think to really make this work, having the online season availability will just make it amazing for everyone. So what did you guys think of this Ringside Report for MyGM? Are you enthused by all the additional things that have been put in? Or are you feeling it's a little bit lackluster and you wanted a bit more from it? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.